Hey, and welcome back. Today you guys are getting an extra special video. Disclaimer, we are not professional cooks. This is not a cooking channel, and we are probably doing everything wrong, but today we are making macaroni and cheese. Woo! So we've got a pot for noodles, a pot for sauce, and our whole whack of ingredients. So, let's go. Alright, so first we are going to put our pasta. Hannah's going to measure out 2 cups of pasta, 1 cup for each of us, into the pot. Then we're going to pour some water over top of it, basically so that it is completely submerged. Don't really know if there's a certain amount that you're supposed to put in, but basically covering the pasta, and then we will get that boiling and cooking. Also, I feel like we should have like little buttons or like raised dots on our stoves so that I know what button to press, but I feel like I use this so much that I just know kind of where to turn it. So basically I turned this one on high. It is cooking. Also, we may have had to boil the water first and then put the pasta in, but it's fine, it'll work either way. So we're going to get started on the sauce. So the first thing for the sauce is we're going to put a tablespoon of butter, melt it, get that going, and then add a tablespoon of flour. And measurements aren't exact for cheese sauce, but basically they just have to be the same amount. And then we will add half a cup of milk and then half a cup of cheese, shredded cheese, aka we're not going to measure that out, we're just going to throw it in. We have our butter and flour. Y'all probably can't see that. Neither can I. And so now that the butter and flour are mixed together, we are going to add the milk. So Hannah's just stirring the pasta, but when you're done, pass me the milk. We measured out half a cup of milk in a liquid measure. I would like to explain that there is a difference. People who measure liquids in dry measuring cups, you make me cringe. We're going to add a little bit at a time. And then now that we have added a liquid, we're going to stir it with a whisk. And then we're just going to keep doing that. And then we will add some cheese and continue to stir our pasta so that it doesn't burn.
So I know this isn't going to make you feel better, but I'm often baking in this kitchen, and when I am adding a liquid, I usually measure with a dry measuring tape.
Also, yeah, we're not cooks, we bake more, but we figured that we baked so much over, like, for Christmas, we did Christmas baking, that we probably didn't need any more sweets in the house. So we decided that we would make something that was not baking, but baking is usually our specialty, and you'll probably get some of that coming your way in the future. So I just went to go grab a strainer out of the bottom corners where we keep the strainer, and I pulled it out from the back, and I literally just dumped all of the bowls and lids for the bowls all over me and all over the floor. Don't do that. So one way to check that if the noodles are done is I take one out, I set it on the counter, let it cool for a sec while I continue stirring. I know that this is almost done because I just did this. And then basically when it is your cool, take it, don't drop it on the stove. That's a dumb idea. And then test it. And I would say that these are done. I'm going to turn the stove off, and I'm going to go strain it. And when I strain it, I basically hold it and tip the pot away from me and dump all the noodles in.
Don't get burnt from the steam.
Why I said no. Yeah. Sorry that the fan was on in that last video. I know the audio probably wasn't great because of it, but just because of the steam, it absorbs the steam. So basically now I'm going to add the cheese into the sauce. And
Lots of cheese.
I feel like one of the best blind cooking or baking hacks is just being close to things but not touching, or like touching, but don't touch something hot. Like with the strainer, I made sure that the strainer was actually physically touching the pot while dumping it back and forth so that I know it's going in the pot. And then with this, I just make sure that this is nice and close. I don't touch this because this is plastic, and then I drop it over. And then I eat a little bit. We did wash our hands.
Yeah,
I continue to wash my hands and dishes.
You melted cheese on the stove, Emma, because you dropped it.
It's not on the element. It's fine.
But it's melting. It's bubbling. It's sizzling.
More cooking hacks. I'm a pro, guys.
I'm a pro baker, not a cooker. I mean chef.
And then our noodles are just sitting there, hanging out. Not on the element so that they don't burn.
Just make sure that they don't dry out either.
I know.
Also, we should just take a moment to appreciate how good homemade mac and cheese tastes, because it is like heaven in your mouth.
It's like the only thing I cook, other than maybe sticking some pre-cooked meat in the oven. Pre-cooked because a lot of people tell that if it's cooked based on like color and stuff, and being colorblind can't tell. So pre-cooked is the way to go. Alright, so the cheese is melted into the sauce. I put a lid on the noodles to keep the moisture in. And then we're going to just pour the sauce into the pot. You're on this, pro chef.
Oh, God.
Wow, two-handed on the handle.
Yeah.
Alright, let me just...
Yeah.
Oh, you're left-handed. You poured it out of the wrong side.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm left-handed.
She's left-handed, I'm right-handed. The struggles. Yeah. This is my normal cooking right here. Straining to hold the pot going the opposite way because it's so much harder than normal. And everything needs to be harder than normal. And then I'm basically just going to take our spoon that we had before and mix it all in.
Also, important tip with pots is always make sure that the handle is in a good direction where you're not going to hit it. It's not like pointing out from the stove and like...
Especially when there's two blind girls in the kitchen, because I've definitely been known where there's been a handle sticking out and I have knocked the pot right off the stove.
Looks so good.
But at least I don't drop my bowl of macaroni and cheese on the floor.
It was one time. One time, Emily. One time.
And then we have macaroni and cheese. Now, we are not eating this right away, so basically I'm going to put a lid on this, leave it at the back of the stove, and then we will heat it up a little later. But that is that. We will, if you guys want to see more cooking and blind cooking hacks or some baking, let us know by leaving a like and or comment. Subscribe.
Yeah.
And enjoy some mac and cheese.
Yay!